to boy Sas May, and today we're going to talk about how stacked UFC 323 is. I think this is the best card the UFC has made since UFC 300, and I'm going over why. This card you could literally goon to, and I wouldn't blame you. Like, like that full card picture you have for the UFC events? I wouldn't blame you if you literally goon to it. That's how good the card is. Also, I got some leaked images of the UFC creating UFC 323 from like insider sources and all that stuff. And yeah, they really did cook on this one. So yeah, let's get into it. And UFC 323 isn't just like a card which has like the biggest stars. I just think that the card is stacked, and I think UFC really was smart with these matchups because I think all these fights are gonna be bangers. Like UFC just put the right opponents together to make banger fights. So yeah, let's go over the card. First, Merab versus Petr Yan. Merab coming back again this year. He's gonna have his fourth time he's fought this year, which is absolutely crazy. I think if Merab defends his belt against Petr Yan, I think he's above Ilia Topuria in the pound for pound list. Maybe Islam's number 1 and Merab's number 2, but if Islam loses and Merab wins, then Merab might be the GOAT, might be number 1 pound for pound. Like, Ilia Topuria is a way better fighter than Merab skill wise, but just that one title defense versus 4 title defenses, you can't compare that. And the names which Merab is getting these title defenses against is absolutely crazy. Merab's is an absolute machine. But Petr Yan, I think he does have a good chance. Petr Yan is a guy who has a very high fight IQ, and I don't know, if you give Petr Yan a rematch, he's going to do better than the first time because yeah, and also Petr Yan's probably going to change his style and going to get like a way better game plan than last time. So yeah, but I got Merab winning that. Then Pantoja versus Joshua Van. Yeah, I just think Pantoja's going to get a round 1 or round 2 submission. I think Joshua Van's to be hesitant on the feet, and Pantoja is just going to dominate him in the grappling. Joshua Van hasn't been doing MMA for long. I think he started, I don't even know when he started. But he's been doing MMA for like 4 or 5 years, which is crazy that now he could potentially become a champion. But he's been training in the sport for like 5 years and he's still pretty young. But I just think he doesn't have enough experience in the grappling, and Pantoja will be able to bully him in the grappling. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a round 1 submission for Pantoja. Then Henry Cejudo versus Payne Talbot. I think they're trying to kill Henry Cejudo with this one. Yeah, Payne Talbot's way bigger. Is like one of the biggest bantamweights, and Henry Cejudo is one of the smallest bantamweights. And Henry Cejudo he's not as good as he used to be. Henry Cejudo, I think, will definitely struggle with the range and stuff, and then Payne Talbot has an aggressive style. So I think Payne Talbot's going to look for the knockout, and potentially, I think there's a very good chance Henry Cejudo gets KO'd or something. Also with the wrestling, Henry Cejudo can get you down, but he can't really keep you down there. And Payne Talbot, I don't think you have to worry about the grappling too much. I think Payne Talbot's going to KO Henry Cejudo, but this is an absolute banger matchup. And I also want to see how these guys like interact with each other. Then Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov. Yeah, Jan Blachowicz had a very close fight against Carlos Alberg. I think, remember when I originally watched it, I thought that Jan Blachowicz won that fight. But anyway, Bogdan Guskov KO'd Nikita Krylov last match. And maybe Guskov KO's Jan Blachowicz. Maybe Jan Blachowicz is too old now and gets KO'd, and then like we start saying, oh my god, this is so sad now that Jan Blachowicz is starting to get KO'd and he's going to lose his chin and he's going to go on a losing streak. So maybe Guskov retires Jan Blachowicz, but Jan Blachowicz is still very good. At 42 years old, pretty crazy that he's still like one of the best fighters in the division. Then Fares Yam versus Nazim Saykov. Nazim Saykov had that crazy fight in UFC Baku last time, and that was like one of the best fights of the year, where he took so many punches against that guy, against the cage, but was able to defend it all, and then beat that guy up. I don't remember if it was a KO decision, That was one of the best fights. And Faris Yam, Faris Yam is doing well now. He's pretty inactive, but his last two fights he won. He KO'd Matt Rivola, and he had the fun scrap with Mark Davis. And both of these guys have entertaining styles. And Nazim Sadykhov had fight of the year, and Faris Yam is also entertaining fight. I think this will be a very entertaining fight on the feet. Yeah, again, this is just very good matchmaking where hardcores. This is like UFC 323 is a very good card for hardcores. Maybe like casuals won't know these guys, but this fight is gonna be guaranteed fireworks. Then Bram Moreno versus Tatsuro Tara. This is also an interesting matchup. I think I have Bram Moreno winning this. Tatsuro Tara isn't very good in the feet, even though he did look good in his last fight. But yeah, I don't have much to say about this fight. It's a pretty good fight. It could be boring, I don't know. But yeah, this is pretty stacked. Then Grant Dawson versus Manuel Torres. This fight's also a banger. Actually, it could be boring if Grant Dawson makes it boring. But both these guys trying to get in the top 15, and I think Manuel Torres could get the KO. Grant Dawson's striking is very bad, and Bobby Green literally KO'd Grant Dawson in like under a minute. So imagine what Manuel. So I think if Manuel Torres with a more aggressive style can definitely KO Grant Dawson, because Grant Dawson's striking isn't good. Then Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. This fight's an absolute banger. This fight's gonna be absolutely crazy, and I really like this matchmaking. Chris Duncan beat Rebecca in his last fight, and that fight was like absolute war. He beat the shit out of Rebecca. And Terrence McKinney is also back on a winning streak and has been looking dominant and really good in his last two fights. Both these guys look for the finish. They're both explosive, and yeah, this fight's gonna be absolute banger. This is really good matchmaking, and like whoever wins this should be put in the top 15. I was busy editing the video, but another fight just got announced. Bruno Ferreira versus Marvin Vettori. This card's getting fat now. This card is literally getting fat. But yeah, Vettori versus Bruno Ferreira. I don't know if this will be a good fight or not. I don't really remember how Bruno Ferreira fought. And Marvin Vettori's fight's getting boring, but yeah. Another fight's just got added to UFC 323. These fights are absolute bangers on UFC 323. Maybe like it's not like Ilia Topuria on the card or something, or Islam Makhachev on the card, like big name wise, but like the matchmaking on this card has been very smart, where it just comes to what two fighters will the UFC match up in order to make an entertaining fight. That is what the UFC has done really well. Yes, your boy Sasper, man. I'm out.